Welcome back to V Recaps. Today, we will talk about the 2022 romantic film titled Purple Hearts. Spoilers ahead, watch out and take care. Cassie is a young lady who lives independently in a cramped rented flat, where she works as a waitress and also plays in a cover band. Her apartment balcony features a rainbow flag and a Black Lives Matter flag, indicating that she is quite progressive and socially aware. However, Cassie has type 1 diabetes and has been struggling to afford her expensive insulin treatments. Cassie knows that her mother is not in the best financial position, but she says she will be alright without any support and that she genuinely wants to be independent. One day while performing and working at the bar,
Frankie?
Cassie runs into a bunch of freshly enlisted US Marines, among whom is her childhood friend Frankie. As the two close the distance between them, the other young males in the group try to flirt with Cassie and her companion, much to their annoyance because the men are so sexist.
So we're good enough to fight for your ass, but not good enough to touch it.
Apparently, Cassie has a strict no-soldier dating policy, but Luke, a tall and muscular Marine, is sort of after her. Cassie isn't interested in the man's lecture on the Marine's vital role in protecting the country, so she rejects his attempts to impart wisdom. Cassie can't help but come up with a scheme to deal with the rising cost of her diabetes medication and the overdue rent on her flat. Cassie contacts Frankie at his home and explains her plan, so that Frankie may benefit from the monthly income given to Marine wives and that Cassie can receive the allowance given to Marine wives. While Frankie declines the proposal due to the fact that he has a fiancée he plans to marry, Luke bursts in and declares that this is a scam that would be severely punished by the authorities and that such a scheme would be deceiving the government. Despite his heroic patriotism, Luke still struggles with the consequences of his past drug abuse. It turns out that he still owes the local dealer, a man named Jono, over $15,000, and Jono wants his money returned before the newly enlisted Marine is shipped off to Iraq. His father and other members of the family have cut relations with him as a result, and his brother likewise won't help. Now Luke proposes the same scheme, proposing to Cassie in order to increase his monthly income and therefore pay off his debt, and Jono gives his blessing to the idea. Next, he shares his plan with Cassie in person, indicating that he needs money but not specifying why. Despite their many differences, she agrees with him. Their goal is to get married before Luke leaves, keep up appearances via email and video chat, and then file for divorce a year later after they've each saved enough money. Soon after, the two are married with the help of a ring that Frankie asked Cassie to guard for a year before he deploys to Iraq.
Congratulations!
The two act as if they're in love with one another, leaving each other love notes via email, but in reality they lead completely separate lives. After Luke leaves, Cassie keeps trying her hand at music and begins writing her own song, which she shares with her husband. One night, while on stage with her band, she gets a call from a USMC commander who informs her that Luke has been seriously injured while serving his nation and will be returning home soon. Cassie is at a loss for what to do, but she knows she should probably tell his family about this, so she contacts his brother. Instead, Cassie goes to see Luke's dad, and despite Luke's repeated warnings not to inform his dad about their marriage, she breaks the news to him, along with updates on his son's health. Luke's father will soon arrive at the hospital to pass judgment on his son, and the whole family will shortly follow. His father had supposedly been very harsh on him as a kid, and later severed contact when he became addicted to drugs. Luke joined the Marines to regain his father's respect, but he never told him about it. Later, he realized he was serving his country and himself more than his father. Luke is upset that Cassie told his father about their marriage, but he swiftly encourages her to keep up appearances because his dad is a retired military police officer who would call BS on his son's fake union if he ever found out. Meanwhile, Cassie has learned that her buddy Frankie was killed in the same incident that left Luke wounded, so she and Luke and Frankie's family have traveled to his burial. When Luke's father says he will come to pick up his son and help him train for 2 days a week, it means that the couple would actually have to live with their pretended marriage as well. Despite being married, Cassie and Luke have never lived together before.
We didn't really live together. Yeah.
Oh boy, well, you will now.
And they did not have much of an idea about what to do about it. Since Luke does not have a place of his own, the two of them move into Cassie's apartment and make it look as though they are married. Although he initially hides his face in shock when he sees the flags at Carrie's house, which represent her liberal values, her father visits as planned and looks fairly impressed with how they have been living. Luke's brother and Cassie also purchase him a dog, a good girl named Peaches, and while at first, Luke is resistant to the concept that he needs a dog to assist him to get around,
I don't need you guys plotting behind my back.
he eventually comes to adore Peaches. He's been training with the support of his Marine dad, who was injured in service and awarded the Purple Heart. Luke's father strongly encouraged his son to pursue the same honor, and the two were commissioned to get the same medal. Luke's continuous therapy and time away from active service prevents him from making the payments he had been making to Jono, and Luke's former heroin dealer returns to collect on the debt.
Is that why you haven't been paying me? Because since you're married, technically your wife, she owes me now too.
As a result of ignoring Jono's warnings at first, he receives a call on Cassie's landline one evening when she is away, and upon responding, finds out that Cassie's mother had been attacked at her house, with a stone being hurled through a window. Upon hearing this, Luke and Cassie rush over, and Luke's brother-in-law checks out the apartment by going inside. It's deserted, but he gets a call on his cell phone from the drug dealer who attacked the woman's home. When they get home that night, Cassie's blood sugar drops so low she nearly passes out. Luke gets her through it and says he was afraid for her the whole time. The following morning, he tracks down Jono and delivers him all the money he owes him after beating him up for attacking his family. His wife tells him that Cassie's mom had an intruder in the house again, this time with a bloodied shirt and talking about Luke when he arrives at their apartment. Cassie is taken aback that her husband doesn't seem to be curious about the intruder's identity, which suggests that he recognizes him and has an intense argument with him. As a result of their fight, Cassie files for divorce,
Go stay at your dad's or your brother's and tell them that we're getting divorced.
claiming that her husband does not care about her mother's welfare despite the fact that she is the only family she has. While on the road with her band, Cassie gets a call from Luke's father, who claims that his son has been arrested for false marriage with the sole purpose of obtaining financial support. Cassie mumbles that not everything is true, implying that the two had actually fallen in love while caring for each other's health. A few weeks later, Luke's court-martial for fraudulence begins. Jono tipped off the police, and Cassie faces identical charges. Since the wife is a civilian, the USMC won't judge her and will send the case to the police after deciding Luke's fate.
I bear full responsibility and I am prepared to face the consequences of my actions.
Luke pleads guilty in court, much to his boss's and family's chagrin, but swears Cassie had no role in it. He argues the woman had no idea she was breaking the law when she married him. Luke was sentenced to 6 months in military prison and discharged for bad behavior. In the last scene of the movie, the couple embraces, kisses, and declares love. Cassie agrees to wait 6 months for Luke before initiating a relationship. As the credits roll, Cassie, Luke, and Peaches enjoy a beach day 6 months later. The movie teaches us about unconditional love and selfless service. The characters grow as a result of the lessons they learn from their mistakes, and the film serves as a cautionary tale on the dangers of lying. If you enjoy watching our videos, feel free to like, subscribe, and ring that notification bell so you get updated whenever we upload new videos.